All right, I am live. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, November 6th, 2019, and welcome to all of you, Sweet Pineapple Fruit Loop, right in the gate. Good morning to you, sweetie. I hope that your Wednesday is off to a great start today. Mine is in a minute. You can see we've had a little bit of a raid. How you doing, Vicky? We've had a little bit of a raid, a nocturnal on the cinnamon buns here today. I knew they wouldn't last. I knew they wouldn't last too long. Cupcake, how you doing, sweetheart? Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Beryl. Goldie Con. Good morning to you, Scottish. Good. How are you doing, baby doll? I'm doing well. Johnny West, good morning to you, and I hope that you're having a awesome day. Shamaj, good morning, my wonderful friend. Good morning, Diane. Yeah, they turned out pretty good. I think I'm gonna imbibe in one here. Let me get. We've got maple topped, and we have the regular vanilla topped. I'm gonna try one of the. Listen to me. I'm going to try one. Look, I already had one. Good morning, Uber Goober. Good morning, Buller. Hey, Bella. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I already had one this morning. So let me. Mm. Good afternoon, Bella Rose, the Queen of Buffalo. It was a scary, scary night. Yep, very scary night. There's a lot of differing. There's a lot of differences of opinion out here. Okay, Uber. Good morning, Corey. How are you? Nice to see you today in the great state of Florida. Let's see. What did I miss today? Let's see. Yeah, I think everything's okay, but there were a lot of differences in opinion about what went down last night, and you really have to know the layout of the Rancho here. Hmm. They're good. Good morning, Captain Kate, man. You really have to know the layout of the Rancho to understand how the security system works here. How's your weather? It's a little chilly out. It's probably 58 degrees, but it'll be up to the low 80s today. Hey, Donna. How are you doing, Donna M? Nice to see you. Never seen Missy Jen walk so quick. She was on the ball so good. You ladies we protect ourselves very well. Uber Goober says it's a beautiful day here on the Puget Sound. Yeah, smooth. Good morning, Mr. X. Says inside Jamna. Yeah, we had an intruder on the Rancho last night. And originally, the speculation. Now, I was facing the screen, running the hangout. It was over. We had a fun time last night. I had Bergs on the phone. He had videos up on the Rosie McNamara channel. What's up, Joseph Camus? You have a rent-a-cop with over 15 years of experience, but none handling weaponry, Joseph. Time to start. Hey, Mr. Z, how you doing? Time to start laying down some claymores. Mr. Z would like, let's blow the perimeter. The first line, let's do it. No, it wasn't an animal intruder. The reason being is I now have a cactus that's down in the back, so I know that somebody had hopped the fence back there last night. So let me, well, just on break. Okay, all right, Nathan, the hardest working sweetie doll in Canada, there in the great city of the beautiful, fantastical, magical city of Toronto, one of my all-time great cities over there. Well, let me tell you, if you don't know what claymores are, go watch. What was that movie with Charlie Sheen? I don't know what it's called. What's the movie that Charlie Sheen was in? Platoon, something like that. I think when the VC is coming in on the compound and they're blowing the claymores, they're a little line of small bombs that you put out there way on the perimeter. I'm saying whoever jumped the fence got stuck by thorns big time over there. So I want to review last night. Number one, as you've seen, we're not ones to not shy away from things. We take things in our own hands. They're set off by being stepped on. Thank you. Nice buns. Yeah, they turned out pretty good, I have to say. Getting to the good part now, the center of it. Look at all that luscious cinnamon. Mm-hmm. 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 I don't want to talk with my mouth full. All right. The number one thing I want to say is, I got a letter from my good friend Patricia Wakefield, and she says, I originally thought it was a flashlight shining in towards your back windows on the kitchen. Now, we don't have blinds back there because we have a high degree of privacy with the Lady Banks climbing roses. Good morning, Kim. Nice to see you. We have huge stands of Lady Banks roses, which are incredibly dense. And the reason I planted them is rather than face our neighbors with just a raw chain link fence, it's nice to have some greenery there. And also in the springtime, a zillion little yellow roses come out, and it's really beautiful. Yeah. How you doing, Susie? Hey, Penny Pincher, how are you? Glenda, nice to see you. You got icing on the right. Glenda's, you got icing on the right side of your lips. The number one thing I want to say about last night is this. Number one, yeah, what in fact Patricia Wakefield saw going on was not in fact a flashlight on the Rancho coming towards us. What in fact she saw, good morning, Jewel. What in fact she saw was our security lights being triggered. We have a massive number of security lights on the Rancho facing many directions. I put them up over a year ago, 2 years ago, I believe, because we had a tweaker come into the property. Howdy, Spanky. Yeah, this happened after baking the last hour and a half or so. We had a good time. I had Bergs on the phone. We were having a lot of laughs, goofing around with Bergs. It was a great hangout. It was a fun hangout. Hey, hipster, how you doing? Before Tara came and after the tweaker came, and the tweaker left a sweatshirt. You can go back and see the video. I think you can just put tweaker in the search box of my videos on the Rosie O'Kelly channel, and you will see this tweaker left a greasy sweatshirt. He left car keys, and he left money here on the Rancho, and he also left a big pile of clothes. So the bottom line is, whoever was here that night was basically walking around naked. All right, this is tweakers. Okay, it's what happens sometimes, right? They don't understand where they are or what's going on. Okay, so that's not, we've had that before. So last night, the number one thing is, it was not a flashlight that was shining. Most thieves, as we know, most people, good morning, Beryl. Hey, Vanessa. Most people that are going to break into a property, yeah, sometimes you just got to shed your shirt, your shit, all your clothes and everything. Like, really? It's like, really? All right, so what triggered was a light last night. It was one of the security lights. It's on the Shine Shack. It's a two-way light. Okay, it's going to pick up people coming from behind the Shine Shack. We have a huge piece of land behind the Shine Shack there, but there's a partial fence that you have to come in and walk around. To get around, normally to walk around and then come around the north side of the Shine Shack. Well, on the south side, I really don't have a light on that side, specifically because if there's an open space on the front, somebody that's going to be an intruder in a property is not going to hop a fence. They're going to walk around. Okay? But for some reason or another, our light got triggered from somebody coming up the south side of the Shine Shack last night. That's what triggered the light to come on. That hey Jen, how you doing, sweetheart? Hey Jay, that's what started off the whole shebang last night. Was that the light coming on and being triggered? Now, as soon as the light came on and Patricia or somebody said, hey, a light came on in your back kitchen window, Marshall immediately went out with his flashlight into the back. He went around the left side of the building, okay, the left side of the Shine Shack. As soon as he opened the door, okay, he heard the fence that separates the back property from the front property. He heard that 6-foot wooden fence shaking, okay, and shaking kind of violently there. All right, I know this is true. All right, so he came in and told me, hey, there's somebody out there, something's moving around on the back of the property. I just heard your fence shake out there. So I went and got my light, and we immediately swept. I swept down the north side of the Shine Shack and went into the back. He went down the south side with his flashlight. Okay. Yeah, Jen, I hope you're doing. Hey, Yasmin, how you doing? Jackie, listening while working. How you doing, Jackie B? Okay. Now, we still heard something that was rustling in the bushes. I didn't see until this morning because some people said, it was just a security light flipped on, maybe a raccoon or something like that. Well, with dogs around here, we don't have a lot of things like raccoons running around here anymore, okay? Raccoons and Rottweilers are a big deal. What's up, Rubber Wilbur? This is why I'm making cinnamon buns. There we go. So at this point, I came inside because I was concerned. Missy Jen has the most available weapon. She keeps it holstered right. I'm not going to disclose where she keeps it holstered, but she can grab it at a moment's notice. Okay, mine is more immediately inaccessible than her Glock 19, my Beretta 92 FS standard Marine Corps sidearm. So she came out immediately, and at this point we thought that we heard somebody rustling in the front part of the hedge towards our main road out here. So we did a sweep up there, and Missy Jen went outside. Then she brought me my weapon, and Marshall and I went out to the back lot, and we did a sweep of the back lot back there. I didn't see anybody. I did not go over. How you doing, Tim? I did not go over to where the cactus and where the fence was last night. I only walked on the north side of the back lot. Okay, I only walked the fence line. I wanted to check by the apple tree. It's a long way back. It's a big property back there. I wanted to make sure that nobody was in the back of the property hiding in the northwest corner, which they weren't back there. Okay, so I came back into the house this morning, and you kind of saw the aftermath where people speculated what's going on, and was it somebody triggered from YouTube? Was it a random event? Blah blah blah. Well, this morning I went out, and one of our cactuses has been pushed over on the south side of the property, the back lot. So I know, in fact, that somebody hopped the fence and then hopped over the 6-foot chain link fence over top of the rose. These are not thorny rose bushes. These are little climbing roses. And as Marshall correctly said, a car took off out of the alley on the south side and left. Okay, so we know for a fact, hey kitten cat, we know for a fact that somebody had come onto the property last night. Now, security lights just don't trigger themselves. They have sensitivity settings on them, so they're not going to be triggered unless there's a certain way that you can adjust them by time and sensitivity. So they're not, every time a wind blows or a leaf falls, they're not going to trigger off. I'm not sure if it was a troll or not, but given the tenor of the current times, and the climate of intense uh, dislike surrounding Marshall being on the property. We have to be on total guard. We have to take things seriously here. There's people that purposely whip up and keep drama going, and you never know when false information is fed out, which it often is. That who's gonna pick up the gauntlet and who's gonna run with that. You never know who's gonna do what. We have a lot of people that are very unpredictable here. People that are on, that may be in various states of drug-induced thought and things like that. You just never know what somebody's capable of doing. So my first, hey Tammy, how you doing? I'm going to do a separate video on undoing your stuff today, sweetheart. So you've got to be very on your toes here at all times. You got to take everything very, very seriously here, which we do. Reason being, we've had incident. We had that incident a couple of years ago with the tweaker. So we know that people can come over the property, much like those who drive others. You ought to be able to try to sue those who whip. Well, Julie, Mom, I've already begun to take steps with that today. Okay, via a few different. I don't believe in YouTube. As I've always done in the past, I believe in the law enforcement and the judicial community here. And, yesterday I reached a point with all the BS that I decided, with all this contrived nonsense that spews out, I decided to start today to make steps towards getting more of a handle on things. And, so it's a very clear. There were a lot of screenshots gathered last night with a lot of viable threats and things. I have those in hand. I'm not going to disclose what the next part of the process is going to be, but I've reached a point where I'm just it takes a lot to make me reach my breaking point. How you doing, Christina? How you doing? Good morning. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Kitten Cat. I may land in jail temporarily, but I'd rather carry six than be carried by 12. You know what I'm saying? You should consider starting a yard stream channel for security. A new dog, Rosie, a big dog. The shelters are full of them. Well, what we've also decided to do is we talked to the neighbor early this morning. We have a fence door between the two properties, and at nighttime the 110 pound Rottweiler, the 110 pound Black Lab, and the 60 pound Chocolate Lab will now have free run of the both properties over here. And my neighbor's very cool with that. We did that for a while. Does that when we're away, that the dogs have the run of the place in the evening. Okay. Domino, Penny is the Rottweiler. It's the name of the Rottweiler, Penny. And then, Millie Vanilli is the Chocolate Lab over there. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. Okay, here. I have a right in life to have whoever I want on my property and to associate with whomever I want to associate with. And I will continue to exercise that right. Now, other people may choose to, take it to places where it probably shouldn't be in real life. And it's really sad that some of these people will take misinformation and then go ahead and act on that, and that's the real tragedy of the whole situation. So the result is people get in trouble. Nobody's unfindable on YouTube. Okay, that's the other reality of things. People think that they can hide behind fake. You can't. Everything traces to. Doesn't matter whether it's a Google phone number. Everything leaves a trail. We're in 2020 almost here, and every year every year the methodology for tracking gets more and more advanced, and the things that they put out in public may give you a false sense of security. Well, I'm bouncing my ISP off of Holland, and then it goes to Beijing, and then it routes to Reykjavik in Iceland. Nonsense. It all leaves a trail behind it. Yeah. So the insanity, but that's fine. I don't mind what other people do on their channels, but I finally spoke out last night, and I spoke my feelings and my truth about things, which I have a right to do, and I put it out there to balance the program a little bit. But I know full well that no matter what you say to people that are I don't ever use the word hate, but the people that are haters and dislikers, it's not going to move their needle one bit. Okay, it's not going to change their mind. Why? Because they're invested in a certain party line, and nothing's going to move the needle. I feel the same way. It takes a major thing to push my needle for or against everybody, and that's just the way it is. So, but I do feel safe, Sweet Meadow. I do feel safe on my own property. The security system that we had last night functioned well. The lights came on and triggered, which means somebody advanced from the west towards the main house here, the main Casa house. There's several buildings on the property. And when they moved a little bit in front of the two-way security floodlights that are mounted on the Shine Shack, it triggered the light to come on. And the rest is history last night. So how you doing? How you doing, Tyler? I've had a lot going on. I haven't had a chance to answer your email yet. Obviously, I have a few things I need to do today. I've started to take some steps, initial steps legally to make sure that things are being gathered now, and things that are in place for legal wise. I don't waste a lot of time on YouTube. The only thing that ever seems effective in my past has been to use real tools that are out there in the community. And YouTube's policy, as it is with most people, you don't use live streams, you don't use the tools of YouTube to engender hate. And I've gone through a long period of just sitting back and hearing misgendering and mischaracterizations, anti-Semitism, all those things that I've heard emanating from that other channel with no regard. So it is all about views. It is, when somebody comes out and tells you how many people they had watching, but you know what's in their mind, okay? And we know what the story is on that. So I take steps. Do you think that was a troll or just a dumb? I don't know, OKC. If we didn't have the current climate on here, I would say, of course, it was just a young punk who was trying to cut through the property to shortcut the corner up there. But this is a different time, okay? Well, what works as a great deterrent is light, okay, and popping lights on. So we have that all set right now. And as I stated yesterday, in my opinion, in having traveled with marshals in June, July, August, half of September, that it's been a very positive summer and fall, but it shows you the point of desperation of some people that they want to continue the hey, Millie Vanilli. Speaking of, where's Domino? Is just Millie came over? What are you doing, Millie? Huh? Are you the first line of defense today? Huh? Are you the first line of defense? What are you doing today? Huh? Yeah. So yeah, now the dogs will be running at nighttime on the properties here. So That'll give us a degree of protection here. So we'll see about other things as needed. As you saw, we're ready to spring to the defense and also protect our property. I've already had people. This is not an unusual thing on the Rancho. We're not that far away from the big population centers of 6 million people here in the Bay Area. Unfortunately, there are some people that put their cars in gear and they come by and they take pictures, you know. Oh man, they're going crazy over there. And then they make it a point to send you a picture that you know that they rode by your property. These people are the lowest form of stalkers in the world. Okay, so I've gathered up that stuff with Gmails and things like that, and I'm not putting an electric fence here, Yasmin. Reason being, I have a lot of small children that live in the area here. It's a very densely populated area. I would never want to see a child be accidentally hit a fence, or a car hit the fence and explode because it hit an electric fence. Okay, I'm not going to put an electrified fence up. So yeah, Missy Jen's good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm gathering all that stuff up, Brandon. I'm putting all that stuff. I didn't really give it much thought before. I've had people ride by. Slim Travels was one, and take pictures and do ride-bys. I mean, I'm used to that at the property here. As this person says, we're at a disclosed location, which is almost put out there like an invitation to to come and knock somebody's block off. Okay, all right. So good morning. How you doing? Sean the Brit? And I hope you're doing well. I have followed. I hope you're. I know you're having surgery. If you answer a robocall, they find out where you are. So, well, people know I never answer my phone ever. Okay, unless it comes up with somebody I know, because I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of troll calls on my phone line, but I never answer it. Okay, and they're always like Google spoof numbers and all that. It's like you didn't know you were painting a big red. No, I don't think so, Jordan Blue. There's real life, and then there's YouTube. Okay, hey RV Radio, how are you? So people can talk about, you're putting a red X on your back. Most people that are reasonable in nature know that it's been a positive summer and a positive fall. Marshall's very concentrated on the van build. I'm sorry, he's not going to do anything to jeopardize me dropping everything and giving him the royal boot off of the property. Okay. All right, there's real proof of which none has been delivered, and then there's speculation and inferential reasoning that it must have been this because this happened and this happened. Those of us who are deeper level thinkers know the game that's played out here on YouTube, and we know that. Okay, we know that. When a troll sets up an account, it's not hard to copy and paste and put links into things as if that's put out there as if it's something that nobody can do. Hell, I've been here for almost 7 years. I've seen it all. Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying, Jordan Blue. At what point do I move forward? Well, I moved forward this summer. Will Marshall devolve into a douchebag again when his van is done? Remains to be seen. Flip a coin at that point, but it will be on him at that point. I can only go by the enjoyment and the fun that we had this summer traveling. The incredible amount brought more content than anybody on YouTube, and continue to bring a ton of interesting content that obviously people want to see, hear, and enjoy. In other words, positive things. I don't need to fire up chats, have people gather and have bash fests on gender, on anti-Semitism and things like that. But that's That's the standard menu item over there now in that chat. Has something else happened? Well, there's a few things happened here that I'm not going to disclose. Okay, but when you keep pounding away night after night under the guise of speaking your truth, it becomes pretty obvious when you put a pretty long log together what's going on now. If in fact it could be proven that it was not Marshall that delivered these threats and blackmail, you got to wonder, would this person come forward and apologize? You got to wonder the other side of the coin too. Okay, as Marshall apologized to Tucker after the ridiculous and sick incident of February of this year. Well, Spanky said, I hope what happened to Pam and Rick doesn't go down there. Well, I don't know, Spanky. We're a little more conversant with self-defense than they were. And I will take somebody out if they're on the property here. I'll give one warning and that's it. So, okay. Pam and Rick are the porch people. Okay, that's the porch people. So as far as what goes on with Marshall's future, yeah, that's up to him. He can either grow up and move forward in a positive direction as he has been. Like I say, if he's involved in a van build and a van build out, man, it's 100% of his time and attention. He was out there from probably 11 a.m. to 7 a.m. last night, compounding 3 layers of compound and 2 coats of wax, little by little getting that rig done. Thank you, Sleepy Snow. Well, that's what I'm saying, Christina. But you know what? I don't invest in that anymore. No, I'm okay, Kiwan. I'm enjoying my cinnamon buns. So it takes a lot to, as people know on YouTube, it takes a lot for me to spring into action because it's YouTube. But there does reach a point. Well, that's what I'm saying, mister. You can lead a horse to water, but it's up to him to drink. Time changes all. Hey, Kyle. Time changes all. And some people grow up, some people grow older. So there it is. So that's my thought on that. Honey makes the bed go away. There you go. Kiwana said it best on there. Well, that's what I say, Julie. When you take my name and you put Stein behind it and things like that, we know what the message is. We know it's a stream of, it's a stream of hate. Okay, and that's what it is, and it's tolerated, and it's all for views. Every single bit of it is all for views. Yeah, Christina says, I don't invest in anyone anymore beating a dead horse because it's not, I would potentially. Well, that's what I say. I'm not investing in anybody anymore. I live in the here and now. I'm not projecting into the future. There was all that. I'm calling the Attorney General. I'm calling the Sheriff's Department of Sonoma County. I'm calling the Department of Human Resources, Medi-Cal, food stamps, all this stuff. And the guy had not even arrived on the Rancho yet. And then, to have this whipped up, these claims, and to say what's going to happen. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And listening to all that nonsense and calling. Well, the state of California takes harassment pretty seriously, particularly when it comes to people here that are seeking medical attention. You may not agree with it. You may think it's one of the huge flaws, but the state of California is a very humanitarian state, much to its fiscal disaster. They will vaccinate school kids. They will give physicals. They will provide health care, dental care without regard to immigration status, whether they call them undocumented, it's the state of California putting a humanitarian face on things. Do I agree with it? No. We have a lot of need here. And when you put out those type of services, you're basically have a magnet that draws people towards where things are given out for free. Okay, that's the reality of it. Yes, is it generous with its benefits? Yeah, as generous as it can be. Have they cut back benefits before? Yes, when the financial crisis hit full steam in 2010, they cut out the Denti-Cal program for teeth and all that. So happy hump day, Dawn. So there's the deal. Okay. So for me, it's not my business to tell somebody else what they can do and what that they can't do. But when you start proactively calling and stirring the pot, when it can be proven that somebody's not even in the state yet and causing trouble and making calls to the point where we're starting to get calls and inquiries, well, it's time to push back against this stuff. So that's what I say about that. So, you know, I've just decided, given this climate of perpetual hate. Yeah. Well, that's what I don't need camera footage on there. I don't need that. Flip a coin. Was it a kid cutting through the property? Well, it's happened before. A kid came over the back fence about 2 months ago and just came right up on Missy Jen. She had Georgie there. Just two kids walked right by. They hopped a small gate and went out the front there. Things happen. So, yeah, thank you, Lee. So I'm not condoning his past at all, but I do think that there's a point that, all we can do is keep moving forward in a positive. No, it's not a stand your ground state. Yeah, it's flip a coin 50-50. So I don't, yeah, Spanky, I don't want to wake up hearing about a drive-by at the Rancho, Rosie girl. Well, people get incited to do things, okay? They get incited because they feed on misinformation, and the misinformation feeds a high degree of hatred without one shred of proof. But we know that people will run with that because, well, it fits with the way they feel about somebody. In other words, there's no objectivity to anything. We're not yeah, I don't believe we're a stand your ground state. Yeah, it does have a cat. Hey, Dill Rogers, nice to see you. I haven't. Thank you, Scottish. So we'll be back to regular program. Hey, Jessica, Jennifer. But I thought I would address this morning, okay? Because I think it's important to let it be known that even Rosie has a point where I've had enough of it, and I'm proceeding forward. Now you'll see all the hidden names, all the non-content creators go in that other chat with their zillion of fake accounts and all that, but the things will continue on as they do. Honestly, I think it is exciting to own a home in the hood. It's like a video game of survival. So I don't either, Buddy Holly, considering that Marshall apologized to Tucker on the stream that happened. But this person decided to pick up the gauntlet again and run with it. I can't tell people what to do on YouTube. I've never told anybody what to do on YouTube. But I can tell you the steps that I've taken now, and I've given my opinions on the way that chat has just evolved into a total pool of, well, I don't even want to mention it on here on YouTube, and it's that obsession that's fueled on a daily basis. And all that. So you say and do if find out Marshall really did sell. I know for a fact it didn't. If I had definitive proof that Marshall sent those threats, he would get the royal boot off of here immediately. Pack your stuff and go. Okay. Yes, it's on the video, and I remember being in that chat at that time. So, oh, I don't know, Bluebird. I don't know, if someone didn't legit get into marks as much as they can, run. You can't do that, Spanky chooses. I was mistaken. What I saw was your security light. Yeah, that's what I talked about at the beginning. Hey, Sister Earth, that's what I talked about at the beginning, Patricia Wakefield. It wasn't a flashlight, but the security light did not come on by itself. It was triggered out there. So, yeah, so that's my thoughts on things. My thoughts on things today about what's going on now. I want to address another subject. I've also gotten messages about D-dubs being doxed out. Last night, I will make this comment. It's up to D to move forward. When anybody gets doxed out on YouTube, they have to make their own way forward with the way they address things. So that will be up to that'll be up to D to move forward. Well, Tooth Fairy, I will say he did. So okay, why can't everyone? Well, Jordan Blue, it's not going to happen here because this is the last time. This is. Their spinner apology was half-assed. So he did apologize. Okay, well, he was trolled to death and used night after night after night after night. This is getting it. This is getting it, Elvis. Every dollar that you donate, blah blah blah, for weeks on end. Hey, I like Tucker. Tucker's been a good friend of mine. Tucker runs his chats as he sees fits. I listen to a lot of Tucker's chats. I enjoy them. Okay, I think he's a stand-up guy. I think he's very fair and balanced. I listened to part of his hangout last night. I thought he took a very fair and balanced approach to things. But Tucker's one that says, "Show me definitive proof. Don't tell me inferential type of things." And in actual point of fact, it's much better to inject a fake Elvis at this point in time to do exactly the things that have happened here over the last month in particular. Yeah, I know, Lee. There's a lot of two-faced people that talk. I've started to boot some of those people from the chat now. So this will be the last time that I talk about this. I'm going to move forward with the positive content. We have the fishing trip coming up here. I've got some cooking to do. I've got to go grocery shopping. Yeah, you get attacked for association. Yeah, so yeah, people are starting to freak out. I don't know, Robert Wilbur. But I do know this: I have no tolerance for any nonsense from Marshall when he's here. No tolerance for anything here. Okay, and I believe Mr. X feels the same way. All right, you're a guest here on this property and act accordingly. I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm gonna make my beef stew. Can you go grocery shopping for me too, Rosie? Oh man, how you doing, Mouse Toes? So I will go back to having positive, fun chats. This is the reason I fired up this chat for the time being on this channel, because I will never talk about this stuff on my main channel. It's not. I wouldn't put that kind of thing on my channel for cheap views and all that. So. Yeah, I'm going to have my Italian style beef stew, which is really which I get raves about. Okay, so I'm going to make that tomorrow. Tonight I'm going to start some homemade bread, so we have that. I'll probably make some ciabatta bread. I really love that. Yeah, Tammy, I will be doing the video. It's just events overrode what was going on here on the Rancho. Doing dumplings. I'm not going to make dumplings, but I do make a good beef stew, and that'll be nice and hearty, because come Friday morning we'll be up at 3:45 a.m. and when we hit that boat, it is cold, cold, cold. And when we set out to sea at about 6 p.m., it's still dark, and it's a little freaky out there in the day. You can look up my beef stew. Just put beef stew in my search box on my videos, and you can see my beef stew. being made multiple times here. So the boss and Janet will be over tomorrow. We'll have a little pre-dinner. Then we go to bed early because it's a long day on Friday. We come back. There's crabs that have to be steamed. There's fish that has to be filleted and all that. So I cannot take Marshall on a boat. Okay, he cannot swim. That's the number one item. You know, everybody should learn how to swim. He did not. Okay, learn how to swim. He's not alone in life. Okay. If he were to go overboard, it would be a question of how soon he could be gaffed, you know, and brought back up on the boat. Because the other complicating feature is we have extremely cold water off of this coast. We have the Aleutian flow down here, which continuously brings 55-degree water down here, and hypothermia will set in after a certain amount of time in the water. And the third thing is we have absolutely monster-sized great white sharks that sit outside the harbor entrances. You've seen my video. I know Corey saw a little bit of it. It's not the best film quality, but you can see a great white shark taking down a what had to be a massive sea lion there. And that thing, the captain of the boat, you can hear him say on that video, I've been out here for 30 years, and this is only the fifth time I've seen this happen. So thank you, Tyler. So if you hit the water, there's a strong likelihood that you could end up as dinner yourself. And there's some serious, this is why surfers get bitten off the coast of California, because they have to put black wetsuits on. And to a great white shark, the person in the water at that point in time, they look like a seal to them. So that great white shark comes up, and they don't come at you surface-wise. They come straight up from underneath out of the deep, okay? And they hit you, they T-bone you and just bite you at that point. So yeah, the white sharks think that they're seals. And no, Kim, she's fine. Janet's all right. So, you know, this is why. And also number 4, seasickness. All right, I don't get seasick, okay? Janet used to get seasick till she discovered if you choose to sit in the cabin of a boat that's bobbing up and down in 5 and 6 foot seas, you're going to get sick as a dog being out. Best thing is to be out on the deck, okay? Best thing is to be out on the deck. Focus your eyes on the horizon, and you should be better. So, yeah, tomato sauce and Italian seasoning, and it is delicious. I'll tell you, when that great white shark attacked that sea lion, you could have heard a pin drop on that boat. It was just dead. People were just in awe, watching a very rare sight. Yep, staring at the horizon. Morning, Marshall.
Morning.
So, I'm just getting ready to wrap up today. I've already had my say. Yeah, see, okay. Keith Gregory's been in 30-foot swells. I'm sure, Keith Gregory, you've been, yeah, I know, Cupcake. Keith Gregory, I'm sure you've been in following seas before, and they suck. Yeah, the cinnamon rolls are good. The rolls, I use vanilla and maple. There's 2 maple left, and there's 3 vanilla left. Hey, Sig, how you doing? Well, he came in to say good morning to me. It's not... You got the vanilla. I should have covered it. This is vanilla, these 3, and this is maple. These
Which
2.
one came out better, Rosen?
I don't know. They're all good. They're a little on the dry side because I forgot to cover them last night. But they're still tasty. So grab that boy right there.
This one here?
Yep. There you go. Enjoy.
Are you wrapping it up?
Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. So, okay. All right. Morning in the sense that he's been up, but he just came in here today. Good morning. Good morning, Katie. So, but still king salmon fish. Yeah, we always nailed a lot of, hey Mary, we always nailed a lot of salmon fish out there. So, yeah, it's still morning out here. Yeah. I don't know. Which you like best? Microwave for 10 seconds like me. I like to fry it up. I like to fry it up. How's that frosting? That frosting is good. Good. That frosting is good. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, very exciting night. Laugh. It's okay. You've started to explain yourself all the time. That sucks. Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, what's going on, Mama Beth? How you doing, Mama Beth's World? Nice to see you. Ocean fishing is awesome to me. I'm a Great Laker. Well, no, it wasn't. Patricia, you did see a light come on. It was not a flashlight. It was the security light coming on. So the security light worked exactly as intended. Take care, Tammy. When you come from behind the shine shack from either side, the lights come on, the spotlights there, and they pick up what's moving. Okay. Yeah, love you, Tammy. Thank you very much, honey. So, anyway, I'm sorry, Mama Beth, you just rolled in, and Midwestern Mary, how you doing? So you can go back and listen to a lot of excitement last night. If you haven't seen it, you can see it on the Rosie McNamara channel. Just understand, I can't control what happens outside of the property, but I can certainly fully control and protect when and if people choose to intrude onto the property. Or multiple security lights have been installed. There's other measures here. And as you saw last night, we are certainly capable of defending ourselves and putting an end to whatever situation comes down here. So, uh, yeah, thank you, Tyler. Not everybody. What do you think? Keith says, "What do you think about Baltimore taking down the Patriots?" It was a signature moment in Baltimore football. I think about how many teams Keith Gregory had a chance to draft Lamar Jackson and passed on him, and I'm glad. That. Thank you, Jessica. I am certainly glad that the Ravens signed him up on there. So. You're not a tar to yeah. Well, Marshall being here, but his presence here has been nothing but positive here. I can't speak about his dress, his sartorial habits, brushing his hair, and all that kind of stuff. To me, that doesn't define the person. All right, I care about having a positive presence here. I care about the fun of doing the band build and continuing forward with the positivity that's been a hallmark of all of the summer and fall travels in here. On that note, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I will see you this evening, probably on McNamara channel. Nocturnal Denizen, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody that stopped by. Check it out. If you want to send me anything, I know people have sent me a lot of screenshots and other things. I appreciate that. And, it's going to be very helpful to me in the coming weeks here, because there's a difference between real life and YouTube. So y'all have a good day, and thanks for stopping by.